Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience for your love with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration, feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Just like a weed.
Oh my lord, it is absolute shit outside. I'm telling you, I'm taking a look outside. Mother Nature is not too kind to the New Jersey people. I don't like it. And I'm quite frankly sick of all this cold weather. But regardless of all of that, regardless, rain or snow, sleet, hail, twisters, hurricanes, monsoons, and tsunamis, it does not change the fact that I am always going to be here, and judging by the time and the day, many of you already know that it's Saturday, and you know what that means. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the greatest fucking show on earth, as we are streaming live across 4 different platforms across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different accounts, and we get set for yet another big time all-star episode of the Lightning Flash Update. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn X, formerly known as Twitter, handle, no. Stop what you're doing. Let me adjust my camera. There we go. Just want to adjust that just slightly. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a particular scent in the air today. So if you can, please take a nice big inhale with me, and I want you to go, oh. You got to do it a second time. It's so nice, you got to do it twice. So please, take a nice big inhale for the second time with me, and I want you to go, oh. You gotta hit the trifecta. You did it once, you did it twice, you gotta do it 3 times. So please join me in unison as we go. Oh, shit. Do you smell that? Oh my God, that is succulent. That is tasty. Do you know what that is? Does anyone know what it is? Where's Thunder? Thunder, are you here? Do you smell that, man? Do you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It is the smell of pure motherfucking excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. Oh yeah, man. I am on fire today. I'm on fire all the time, every time. And this is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. The Ides of March have officially surpassed us, and we are headed into the month of April in just over a week. And I do believe in about 10 days, I would say, the most important date in human history will be upon us, because on April 2nd, there was this little thing that happened on April 2nd where God himself said, it's time to make the world interesting. And he sent me to this planet 25 years ago in just 10 days. That is right, people. 25 years of pure, unadulterated awesomeness that I have inhabited this earth. So if you guys want to send me a nice early birthday present, I would appreciate a super chat, because I am monetized now. Hit the super chats, the super stickers, super thanks, super anything. Send in some of those donations. Treat me to a great birthday by sending in your super chats and super thanks. I would greatly appreciate it. It would help out the brand greatly. Now then, as you already know, this is a no-nonsense show. I don't take any shit from anybody. No-nonsense show over here. And we get down to the pure, unadulterated facts on the Lightning Flash update. That's why we are the greatest show on earth. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to go over 3 weekly shows. We're going to go over Dynamite, Rampage, and Raw. I will not be going over SmackDown, not because I deliberately didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because I was actually at the ISPW Championship Rumble show in Totowa, New Jersey last night. You will see a vlog from that coming to you on Wednesday, March 27th, so keep your eyes out for that. And I saw some pretty damn good moments. Sent to Slaughter are the new ISPW Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to Danny Moff and Sean Donovan. Also, I got to meet Lady Frost. Lady Frost is a very, very nice individual. Very, very appreciative of her time. Lady Frost, if you're watching, thank you very much. On top of that, GKM was screwed over. And Ray Kalitri cashed in his golden ticket briefcase. Ray Kalitri is the new ISPW World Heavyweight Champion, and the ultimate underdog, Joe Clean, won the ISPW Championship Rumble. So congratulations to Joe Clean. Very entertaining show. Darius Carter also made his debut at ISPW. I had been waiting for a long, long time to see Darius Carter back in action, and now finally, Darius fucking Carter, the All-Father, is back in the realm of the Stormsmeister. Finally, I get to see Darius Carter in action once again. Darius Carter is fucking fantastic. The guy is the total package. Guy is the absolute total package when it comes to being a professional wrestler. But we're here to talk about WWE and AEW and all of the major happenings going on in the world of professional wrestling. We're going to discuss Asuka and the potential injury that Asuka suffered last Friday on SmackDown. We're also going to discuss Dave Meltzer's comments. Dave Meltzer made a couple comments that seemingly have sent the IWC into disarray, because everyone is all up in arms that Dave Meltzer said that Will Ospreay is better than Cody Rhodes. Let me tell you something. What he said was correct. Whether you want to admit it or not, Will Ospreay, at this very moment, he does have more charisma than Cody does. However, the problem that I had with what Meltzer said is he did not elaborate on why. He didn't elaborate on why. And we're going to talk about why Cody Rhodes right now is in a very, very shit situation creatively. He may be over, he may have high merch sales and all that other bullshit, but at this very moment, Cody Rhodes is not where he should be. He does not feel like a main event level star. He feels like a bum, and we're going to talk about why. And then on top of that, we're also going to talk about Mercedes Mone and the fact that she was able to build relationships with the Warner Brothers Discovery executives and what that means for AEW going forward. One more time, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for taking the time out of your Saturdays to spend time watching yours truly. As you already know, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on social media. Follow me on social media on X and on Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. One more time, that is at HistoryMakerDJS, both on X and Instagram. You can add me on my personal Facebook as well. And for collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. You can like the official DJ Storms business page, which we are live on right now. And I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all those links are in the description. You can go check me out on Rumble as well. We're looking to build a nice, solid fan base over there. Go check me out over there. In addition, please make sure you like the stream when you come on in, no matter where you're watching it from, whether you're watching it on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Rumble. Please like the stream and share it out on all platforms of social media, including Facebook, Rumble, X, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, Twitch, TikTok, whatever social media platforms that you may be using, because it is very vital that you get as many people in here as possible, because when you do, that means that more people will have their eyes on me, and I can make even more people's lives better. Last week's LFU, my God, we had a nice hot crowd, about 50 people watching. Twitter really helped me there. We had a lot of people watching on Twitter. I'm hoping that we can get a lot of people watching tonight, or today rather, as well, wherever you're watching it from, whether it's in the morning over there, whether it's in the afternoon, whether it's at night, wherever you are across the world. Also, please make sure, if you have not already done so, hit the subscribe button. We have reached our milestone on Hardcore Sports. We've reached our milestone on Hardcore Sports of 1,000 subscribers over there, and we are on the road to 2,400 subscribers for your boy, DJ Shizzle Dizzle. How you doing, Courtney McCarron? I had a feeling that you would jump on in because you need your dosage of DJ Shizzle Dizzle, as does everybody else. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. And I will stress it again, hit the super chat. Hit that super chat. Send me some super chats. Send me some super thanks. Send them in. It's very vital that you do so, because we are looking to build a nice, solid fan base over here, and we are looking to really take the DJ Storms brand to the next level. So hit the super chats, hit the subscribe button, and the most important thing, hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace, because that way you are going to know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the absolute best fucking time to be on YouTube. And do you know why? Because it is the only time that you are going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. You already know what time it is, people. You already know what time it is. Oh, yes. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that. What does it say? What does that say? That says ace, because I am the ace of the IWC. Hold on. I gotta. Oh, my God. I gotta blow on it. It is hot. It is sizzling. We're going to light it up right here on the LFU across the IWC with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because, like, hot, fresh, steaming tomato soup with a side of grilled cheese. Got to get a little cheddar and Gouda grilled cheese in there, because that is some high-class shit right there. I am just so good. Oh, my God. I am sizzlating. I am scrumptious. I am the tastiest snack in the entire IWC, and everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister. I am just too damn good. I'm telling you, I am just too damn good. Anyway, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Let me take a drink. Got the ice water right here. And yes, James, put a second. You got to put some bacon on there too. Got to put some bacon on there too, because guess what? Bacon is one of those things that just make everything better. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Why don't we get straight into the festivities here? Let's talk about the news, rumors, and reports. We got a couple of things to get into here. According to PW Insider, there is belief going around that the Motor City Machine Guns, this is Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin of TNA Wrestling, their existing TNA deals are expiring soon, possibly as soon as the end of March. And it was followed up on that they will indeed be free agents starting in the beginning of April. Now, I kind of feel bad for the TNA brand. I really do. I kind of feel bad for the TNA brand because TNA, at the beginning of the year, they went into 2024 with a lot of hype surrounding them. When they switched over from Impact to TNA, they actually put on a very, very, very good show back at Hard to Kill in the second weekend of January. I actually watched it. I saw how everything played out, and I was very, very impressed with what they brought to the table, especially the main event and the fact that Nick Nemeth, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler, he debuted for TNA. And Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, he's all but confirmed to win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Rebellion. I mean, there's no other way that they could go. Nick Nemeth has got to win. However, I do feel bad for the brand because seems as though as quickly as they gained some momentum, they lost it. With the firing of Scott D'Amore and all the shit that's going around with a couple of talent being unhappy and Josh Alexander's contract being extended because of reasons when he didn't want to. Seems as though TNA is slowly reverting back to being just an irrelevant cockroach in the world of professional wrestling. And you know what? That is pretty sad. That is pretty sad. And I really wish things were a bit different. I wish that things were a bit different because I want pro wrestling to succeed. And I really do want the TNA brand, and I want the MLW brand and the New Japan brand. I want all these brands to succeed, and I want professional wrestling to flourish. And right now, you could say that because of WWE and AEW, more so AEW, professional wrestling is flourishing right now. But I really wish it would extend past the two major companies of the world. I wish it would extend past just AEW and WWE. Now, the Motor City Machine Guns, they probably want to do new things. They probably want to do new things. They probably want to mix it up with some new companies. They want to explore new worlds, which I have absolutely no problem with. Where do they go is the question. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would not mind seeing the Motor City Machine Guns in the WWE. And I'm going to explain the reason why. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, their TNA deals are reportedly expiring. They're not going to renew, and they're going to be free agents at the beginning of April. Normally, there would be a lot of people saying that they should go to AEW. And I'm not saying that it's impossible for them to go to AEW because AEW, as we speak, is rejuvenating the tag team division. If you've been watching what's going on television, the AEW tag team division is slowly starting to come together again, especially in 2024. We've had some great tag team matches, but I honestly believe that the Motor City Machine Guns would favor better in the WWE. The WWE, as we speak, they need a shot of adrenaline when it comes to tag team wrestling. You're not going to get far with the Awesome Truth. No one gives a fuck about the NXT tag team division and the WWE tag team division. I mean, they've shown spurts of greatness, but it doesn't feel like they're as invested in it as they should be. So the Motor City Machine Guns, they should help. We'll see what happens, but as we speak, I would much rather see the Motor City Machine Guns in the WWE because they could really rejuvenate the tag team division across all three shows. The Motor City Machine Guns are fantastic at what they do. They are absolutely fantastic at what they do. Matter of fact, they are perhaps one of the most underrated and underappreciated tag teams of all time. But as far as AEW goes, it seems as though AEW, they already got enough resources to handle the tag team division over there. Unless they want to bring in the Motor City Machine Guns and really double down on everything. I'm not saying it's impossible, but WWE really comes off as they are in need of the Motor City Machine Guns more so than AEW are. Speaking of contracts, Motor City Machine Guns are not re-signing with TNA. Gabriel Kidd, he was the individual that fought Eddie Kingston for the Continental Crown Championship back at Battle in the Valley in January. Gabe Kidd, according to Fightful, has re-signed with New Japan Professional Wrestling. And I actually believe that Gabe Kidd is going to be the guy to take the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship off of Eddie Kingston. We already have Okada. He just won the Continental Crown from Kingston. That was the right outcome. Then you got Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston, that's taking place at Supercard of Honor on April 5th. Mark Briscoe's got to win that. I mean, the story's right there. Mark Briscoe's got to win that. As far as Gabe Kidd goes, it seems as though Gabe Kidd has been the guy that they've been building up to beat a guy like Eddie Kingston. If he didn't beat him back at Battle in the Valley and it ended in a double countout, he's going to have to win this time. And from what I've seen of Gabe Kidd, he's fucking legit. So I would not mind if Gabe Kidd beat Eddie Kingston to win the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship at all. Dave Meltzer. I've seen some people throw a fucking hissy fit because Dave Meltzer, he stated that Will Ospreay has more charisma and is a much better in-ring performer than Cody Rhodes. He went on to say that it was a miss by WWE for not getting him. He talked about his promos with Omega and Michael Oku, his promos with Jericho and Bryan Danielson, and he said that he could easily be a face of the company type guy for AEW, all while saying that Cody Rhodes is inferior to him. Let me take a drink of my ice water before I pick this apart. A lot of people wanted to use this as a means of shitting on tribalism, and they're claiming that Dave Meltzer is a tribalistic freak and blah, blah, blah. Listen, I am not subscribed to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. I do not listen to Wrestling Observer Radio, and I am well aware that Dave Meltzer, he clearly is not all there like he once was. Dave Meltzer is not all that in tune with a lot of professional wrestling as most are. And he is losing it a little bit. He's up there in age. He's not exactly a spring chicken. I'm very, very, very well aware that Dave Meltzer, he's not exactly accurate all the time. He's not. Matter of fact, he does say some stupid shit here and there. However, I'm looking at this and I'm reading it. I didn't see anything that was wrong with what he said. Matter of fact, if you listen and you pay attention to what is going on television, you can feel the difference between a Cody Rhodes promo and a Will Ospreay promo. And you can watch a Cody Rhodes or a Will Ospreay match, and you can sense that Will Ospreay is a better in-ring competitor than Cody Rhodes. I look at this and I'm sitting there like, why the fuck are people getting all mad about this? And I came to the conclusion that people are getting mad over this because what Dave Meltzer said was correct. There's really nothing more to say. What Dave Meltzer said was true. Will Ospreay is a better wrestler than Cody Rhodes. That's not saying that Cody Rhodes is bad. Cody Rhodes is a fantastic pro wrestler. He has had some fantastic matches over the course of the last couple years. And I am very much appreciative of what Cody Rhodes is and what he can do. But it's not tribalistic to say that one individual is better than the other, especially when it's clearly true. Tribalism revolves around shitting on one thing over and over and over again and then trying to compare it to another thing and never saying anything bad about the other thing. Dave Meltzer has not been tribalistic in the sense of saying that he hates Cody. Dave Meltzer does not hate Cody. I don't hate Cody. I don't think Cody Rhodes sucks. Cody Rhodes has his flaws. Will Ospreay has his flaws. But it's not tribalistic to say that Will Ospreay is better than Cody Rhodes. Go watch a Will Ospreay match and then go watch a Cody Rhodes match. If you're going to tell me that Cody Rhodes is better in the ring than Will Ospreay after the match that Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega put on back at Forbidden Door, then you're a fucking idiot. You're a complete fucking idiot. Now, as far as the charisma department, Cody Rhodes is a very charismatic guy. He's been a very charismatic guy for a long, long time. And Cody Rhodes is a great promo. But Will Ospreay, again, listen to the promos. You can sense the difference between Will Ospreay's promos and Cody's promos. The one thing that I didn't like about what Meltzer said, the one thing that is a problem with what Meltzer said, and this is something that I don't see a lot of people talking about when they should. The one problem that is wrong with Meltzer's statement is the fact that he failed to acknowledge the one thing that makes Will Ospreay better than Cody Rhodes at this very moment, and it has nothing to do with Will Ospreay or Cody Rhodes in general. It is not Ospreay's fault. It is not Cody Rhodes' fault. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's not Meltzer's fault. The one thing that makes Cody Rhodes inferior to Will Ospreay at this very point is the same thing that has plagued a lot of professional wrestlers over the years. It's WWE creative. I don't care what you want to try and use as an excuse. I don't give a fuck about the ratings. They don't matter. I don't give a fuck about ticket sales. They don't matter. Merch sales don't matter. Money doesn't matter. At the end of the day, WWE creative is the worst creative in the industry. Just because something is making a lot of money doesn't mean it's objectively good. Just because something isn't making a lot of money, that doesn't mean it's bad. Quality is not based off of money. Quality is based off of legitimate passion, grit, genuineness, and effort. And that's the most important thing. Effort. Quality is based on effort, not on finances. And if you are using finances to judge quality, then you are a fucking cancer. You are. And I have absolutely no respect for you. I want you guys to think for a minute. Just think. Think and listen. I want you guys to think about Cody Rhodes and his promos that he's cut over the course of the last year. Coming out of that loss to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39 last year. Think about it. How many promos, excluding the one that we saw on Monday, how many promos have we gotten from Cody Rhodes coming out of that loss to Roman Reigns last year at WrestleMania? How many promos have legitimately stood out? How many? The answer is none. Whether you want to admit it or not, Cody Rhodes and his promo ability has been shackled. Cody Rhodes and his promo ability has been drastically, and I mean drastically, handcuffed by WWE. Cody Rhodes comes out there and he says the same shit over and over again every fucking week. There is no difference between Cody's promo from May versus a Cody Rhodes promo from June of last year versus a Cody Rhodes promo from October. There's nothing. You take a look at Cody's promos in AEW, and I can pinpoint the shit that Cody Rhodes said in AEW. Cody Rhodes was raw. He was gritty. He was passionate. He was intense. He was genuine. It felt real. It felt as though the energy was oozing out of the television screen, and you could fucking feel the energy from your fucking couch when he was feuding with Chris Jericho over the AEW World Championship. And Jericho said Cody was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. And Cody said, well, you want to talk about me being born with a silver spoon in my mouth? Aren't you the son of a famous hockey player, you stupid dick? What about his feud with MJF? What about his feud with MJF? MJF, he double-crossed Cody Rhodes at Full Gear, and Cody Rhodes said, you know, MJF, he wants to act like he's hot stuff because he gets all the support from these veterans for saying that, yeah, he's a true old-school heel, but in reality, MJF is just lazy and he doesn't want to work. Or how about the fact that he's nothing more than a bargain basement of Chris Jericho, and he delivers a horrible Crossroads? At least they're botching it on 2 channels now. What about his promo? What about his promo with Roman Reigns back in March of last year? I remember there was one thing that stuck out to me with the build towards WrestleMania 39's match with Cody and Roman, which, by the way, was infinitely better than this year. Cody Rhodes was talking about Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Cody Rhodes got in Solo's face and he goes, do you know why you stand side by side with Roman Reigns? Because I was once in your position and you're not ready. He got in Solo's face. He pissed off Solo. He said, you're not ready, Solo. Then he called out Roman Reigns for being a failure of WWE for about 8 years. He said, and I quote, it's funny because Roman Reigns wants to act like he's the biggest star. He's a part of an 11-year investment from the WWE, and it only started paying off in year 8. That was in the WWE. That wasn't AEW. That wasn't New Japan. That was in the WWE. And I remember that promo. I remember those lines from last year. But coming out of WrestleMania 39, what the fuck has Cody Rhodes done that has been of any fucking importance? Nothing. Whether you want to admit it or not, nothing. Cody Rhodes went into a feud with Brock Lesnar for 4 fucking months. 4 months. Not one explanation, and it resulted in nothing more than a halfway decent match at SummerSlam. The feud with Cody and Lesnar fucking sucked. Then he goes into another 4-month feud with the fucking Judgment Day. He was playing Ring Around the Rosie with the Judgment Day, competing in all sorts of matches against all different members of the Judgment Day for 4 fucking months leading up to War Games. Then he goes into a nothing feud with Shinsuke Nakamura leading up into the Rumble. Cody wins the Rumble for a second year. And at that point, how many people actually gave a shit about Cody Rhodes? Barely anyone. At this point, more people just want to see Roman Reigns lose the championship more so than they want to see Cody win it. And that's a fucking fact. WWE Creative, just like they've ruined so many other people over the years. WWE Creative, doesn't matter who's in charge. Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis. Doesn't matter who the executives are. There is a stink. There is a stench. There is a disease amongst WWE management. And it's a disease of laziness. It's a disease of a lack of effort. It's a disease of piss-poor creative that has ruined the appeal of so many wrestlers over the course of God knows how many years. Cody Rhodes has been emasculated by WWE. Meanwhile, you listen to Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay, that one promo with Bryan Danielson on a fucking taped edition of Collision, that one promo with Bryan Danielson was better than any promo that Cody Rhodes cut in the last 365 days, minus the promo that he cut on The Rock this past Monday. But even then, is it too little too late for Cody? Something is telling me it is. The WWE is booking Cody Rhodes like every other babyface that they've always booked throughout the years. They are booking him like a fucking pussy. They have made Cody Rhodes into a tame, bland, dollar store version of John Cena to a point where, at this rate, I am not sure if people are even going to gravitate that much towards Cody even after he wins the championship. Honest to God, I don't even believe that there's a small part of me that doesn't even believe that Cody Rhodes is going to walk out of WrestleMania with the championship. Look at what they've done this WrestleMania season. They've made Dwayne Johnson the center of attention all WrestleMania season, and we'll talk about that more. We're gonna dive into that a little bit more. But the one thing that Meltzer left out was the fact that Will Ospreay is not at the mercy of WWE's shit creative. Will Ospreay has the freedom to go out there and be passionate, intense, energetic, genuine, raw, gritty, cutthroat. Cody Rhodes is a fucking... If I was to compare Cody Rhodes and Will Ospreay when it comes to cutting promos, think of them as blades. Think of them as blades. Now, Will Ospreay is not the best promo on the planet, but Will Ospreay, when I look at Will Ospreay is a fucking axe. Will Ospreay, compared to Cody, is a fucking axe getting ready to fucking chop through wood. Cody Rhodes is safety scissors that a fucking 5-year-old can use. Cody Rhodes is the dullest of dull when it comes to cutting promos. Cody Rhodes is a dull blade that can barely cut through a thin piece of paper. I don't really know what else to tell you. WWE Creative, whether you want to admit it or not, WWE Creative has fucking ruined the appeal of Cody Rhodes. And just like everyone else before him, Cody Rhodes feels bland. He feels bland. He feels boring. He feels lame. He feels cookie cutter. He feels just like another guy. That's it. I don't really know what else to tell you. Whether you want to admit it or not, that is the truth. That is the truth. What Meltzer said was correct. However, he did leave out one thing when it comes to Will Ospreay and Cody, and that is the fact that Cody Rhodes has been climbing the mountain of WWE Creative. Will Ospreay was said by Dave Meltzer to be better in terms of cutting promos and in-ring ability than Cody Rhodes is. Meltzer was correct, but he left out the fact that WWE Creative has fucking ruined Cody Rhodes. Cody does not sound gritty. He does not sound passionate. He does not sound energetic. They had this guy fucking crying on Raw a couple of weeks back. You call that raw, gritty, energetic, and cutthroat? Listen to the promo that Will Ospreay cut at AEW Big Business, and then come back to me when you want to come at me and say that, oh, yeah, WWE Creative isn't ruining Cody Rhodes. Meltzer was correct, but he should have put in his statement that Cody Rhodes is being ruined by WWE Creative. Do you want to know the one thing that I got from this? The one thing that I got from all of this is the fact that Cody Rhodes deserves better. Cody Rhodes deserves more freedom, and Cody Rhodes deserves better creative writing. Moving on. According to PW Insider, Asuka, she is one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and she has hurt her knee. Asuka hurt her knee. She was visibly limping last week on SmackDown, and Asuka was recently pulled from that weekend's live events out of caution. That way, they could have run a few tests and find out whether or not she could work through the injury or whether or not it was a much larger injury. As we speak right now, I do not have an update on Asuka. She was at SmackDown last night, I do believe. I'll have to go watch SmackDown later, There's no Collision on tonight because of the, what was it? Is it March Madness? Yeah, it is March Madness. No Collision on tonight because of March Madness. So I will be catching up on Ring of Honor. I will be catching up on SmackDown, and we'll have to see where she's at. If she was on SmackDown, then if she can walk, if she can at least walk, then we should be in good condition. As long as she can walk. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Maybe it was just a tweak. But based on the fact that Jade Cargill, she is coming in next week. She's officially a part of SmackDown. We'll have to wait and see what happens in terms of Jade Cargill, and potentially we could see Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca mix it up with Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors, because Io Sky, she's got Bayley to attend to. Fightful. They reported that MLW, Major League Wrestling, recently reached out to Mauro Ranallo. Mamma mia, Mauro Ranallo. They wanted to bring in Mauro Ranallo to the company, more likely than not for a commentary gig. Now, I don't watch MLW. Some people say that I should. I physically do not have the time for that, because let me tell you something. If I was able to watch more than what I watch right now, I watch Ring of Honor, AEW, and WWE. If I was to watch TNA as well, and New Japan as well, and MLW as well, and on top of that, I already go to an indie promotion. If I was to add more companies to watch to my already busy schedule, I would legitimately have no time to do anything else. I would have no time to sleep. I would have no time to eat. I would have no time to go out and spend time with my friends. I would have no time to have dinner with my family. I'd have no time for anything else. So I do not watch MLW because I physically do not have the time to. However, I can't shit on MLW trying to bring in Mauro Ranallo. It actually saddens me that Mauro Ranallo, he left the world of wrestling commentary, because Mauro Ranallo easily is the best overall wrestling commentator that we've seen in the modern era. Mauro Ranallo and Nigel McGuinness back at NXT Black and Gold, those days, those two were absolutely fucking phenomenal at what they do. Matter of fact, I'm kind of shocked that Tony Khan has not been able to bring in Mauro. Mauro Ranallo, he was reached out to by MLW to bring him into the company. That right there would be fantastic. Probably would be the best commentary acquisition that any professional wrestling promotion could ever make. And if I was running a promotion, Mauro would be number one on my list when it comes to commentary. His days with Nigel McGuinness back during NXT Black and Gold, their peak, that was picture perfect commentary and peak professional wrestling. Now, I'm not sure what is going to happen as far as Mauro Ranallo goes, but if MLW is able to secure this, they got themselves one hell of an acquisition that is going to make every other match on the show feel that much more important. And on top of that, this could open the gateway to new opportunities. I'm hoping that maybe this could be a gateway to Mauro potentially going to AEW, or maybe going back to WWE one day. Moving on here. Let's talk about Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. They are noticeably absent from the AEW World Tag Team Title Tournament, which was kind of disappointing to me, because I had it in my mind that the Blackpool Combat Club were going to be the new tag team champions. I mean, after that match with FTR at Revolution, I was thinking to myself, I mean, motherfucker, give them the titles. Give them the fucking titles. After that match with FTR, I could have gladly have gotten behind Jon Moxley and Claudio as the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Those two would have made the tag team titles and the division that much more important. But they're not there. They are not there, shockingly. Why are they not there? Why are they not there? Well, according to Fightful, Jon Moxley who has been off of AEW TV since Revolution, he is off of TV for a very specific reason. Jon Moxley is off of TV because he is currently taking a break from wrestling for a little bit because he is booked for a couple of shows in Mexico and Japan. So therefore, he is taking a break before the travel schedule begins. These plans were set up a while ago, so he couldn't partake in the AEW World Tag Team Title Tournament. So I guess Moxley, he's finally getting that little mini vacation that he's been promised for almost 2 years now. The ace of AEW finally getting a little bit of a reprieve. And you know what? If there's one guy that deserves it, it's Jon Moxley. There's one guy that deserves it, it's Jon Moxley. I'm not going to complain about this. I would have loved to see him in the tournament with Claudio, but I do not have a problem with Jon Moxley taking a break as we speak, because right now, Jon Moxley, he is easily one of the most hardworking individuals in the entire wrestling industry, and he has given a lot of his time, of his energy, and his life to Tony Khan and AEW, and as we speak, Jon Moxley deserves a little bit of a reprieve. Sean Ross Sapp, he provided an update on Adam Cole's ankle injury, and it is a positive report. Adam Cole, he shattered his ankle, and it was a legitimate ankle injury. He had his surgery, and he has been in a walking boot for, I would say, 6 months now. Been in a walking boot for about 6 months. Just a very unfortunate set of circumstances. Shattered his ankle. Apparently, Adam Cole is no longer wearing a walking boot. Sean Ross Sapp provided that Adam Cole has shed the walking boot, and Adam Cole will be walking on his own as we speak. However, there is no timetable on his return, and it is not specified as to when we will see him back in the ring. However, the fact that he is not in a walking boot anymore is a great thing. Adam Cole, when he unfortunately shattered his ankle injury, or he unfortunately shattered his ankle, excuse me. I can't even fucking speak today, I swear to God. Adam Cole, when he unfortunately suffered an ankle injury back in September by jumping off the stage at Grand Slam, he really put a big dent in the plans for him and MJF. I don't believe that Samoa Joe was going to be the plan. It was going to be Adam Cole. But unfortunately, he got injured. Now, Sean Ross Sapp reported that he supposedly shed the walking boot. Now, I'm not sure what the status of MJF is. Very, very secretive, and MJF is keeping the information very close to the chest. But, if Adam Cole is almost healthy, we could very well see him back in action at some time after Memorial Day, after Double or Nothing. And if that's the case, if we can see MJF by maybe June or July, we could get the Adam Cole MJF match at All In Part 2 in London. And I'm sure a lot of people would be more than happy to see that. Raquel Rodriguez. She recently returned and she competed at the Elimination Chamber event in Perth, Australia. Raquel, she has been pulled from the active WWE roster. And it's an unfortunate set of circumstances, but she had a flare-up. She recently had a flare-up with her condition, and she is set to undergo emergency treatment. For those of you that do not know what she is suffering from, Raquel Rodriguez was diagnosed with mast cell activation syndrome, in which the cells, they are all out of whack, and the symptoms are low blood pressure, swelling, hives, and difficulty breathing, amongst a few other symptoms. It is certainly nothing to joke around about. It is certainly nothing to fuck around with. And Raquel, unfortunately, she had a massive flare-up. Thankfully, I believe they caught it. I believe they caught it early. I believe that they were able to catch it right when it flared up. So I'm hoping that Raquel, she's going to get the proper treatment and we should see her back on TV sooner rather than later. And it sucks. It really does suck because I do not wish a condition like that on anyone. I mean, I have a fucking condition myself. I have fucking UC. And when I was flaring up, before I got the proper medication, my UC was legitimately crippling my lifestyle. My UC was making me miserable. So I can't imagine what Raquel is going through. And I would not wish that type of physical pain and mental and emotional pain, because it's not just physical. You can have some hives and difficulty breathing and all that, but this affects you just as much mentally and emotionally as it does physically. The fact that she cannot provide for herself and she cannot do what she loves, I feel bad for her. I really do. My only hope is that they get her back to normal as quickly as possible. Meltzer, he provided us a report regarding Vince McMahon and the whole lawsuit with Janelle Grant. Nothing new has really surfaced other than the fact that Meltzer said that some individuals within the WWE who originally tried to defend Vince McMahon in the Janelle Grant lawsuit have since, quote unquote, thrown in the towel. Should have never took the towel to begin with. The towel shouldn't have had to have been thrown in this late in the game. There's no defending Vince McMahon. But regardless, Dave Meltzer stated that Vince McMahon essentially has no support whatsoever within the WWE/TKO executive team. Goes around, comes around. Vince McMahon did not support anyone. Vince McMahon surrounded himself with a bunch of yes men. Vince McMahon used a lot of people, abused a lot of people, and now things are coming back around to haunt him. He has absolutely no support. He has no support, and he's being left to rot on his own. Unfortunately, Vince McMahon is going to do everything, and I mean everything in his power to make sure as many people, they go down with him. Because if he cannot stay around and if he cannot have a hands-on experience within the WWE, then absolutely no one can. I honestly believe that Vince McMahon is going to try to take the WWE down into the grave with him. Not even bullshitting you. Mercedes Mone. She's the fucking CEO. And Mercedes was given the opportunity by AEW, according to PW Insider, to build a direct relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery, as well as a potential access to their film and television franchises. Going more in depth, the fact that AEW could provide support for Monet in a way that WWE likely could not at this juncture was a factor in her signing, pretty much stating that Mercedes wants to go and she wants to do movies, she wants to do The Mandalorian and shit like that. She wants to compete in other promotions and she wants creative freedom to be herself. WWE could not provide that. There was also a belief that AEW would be far more open to Monet working on acting, essentially if she needed to take a period of time off for the forthcoming Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu feature films, or any other projects that could result in her full attention being deviated to that project. Mercedes has built a team around her to assist her in maintaining her physical, mental, and emotional health, and that AEW provided all signs that they would work in conjunction with that team. So Tony Khan, he did everything right. Tony Khan did everything right. He talked to the AEW executive teams that are below him, and his team talked with Mercedes' team, and essentially they built a beautiful relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery to a point now that Mercedes Moné Mercedes Mone is going to help aid the company. And if she needs to take time off for films or for mental and emotional spurts to get herself right, then she's going to do that. Now, this is great for Mercedes, but this is even greater for AEW because the fact that Tony Khan was able to provide such an open forum for Mercedes Mone to build these relationships with Warner Brothers Discovery, this could very well lead to something bigger. When CM Punk was fired, rightfully so, from AEW, a lot of people kind of wrote off AEW and said that, oh yeah, they're never going to get the TV deal now. They're going to have to settle for something cheaper. In comes Mercedes Mone, who's just as big of a signing as CM Punk. And Mercedes Mone, she garners a shit ton of attention, and she has a lot of good connections. The fact that they brought in Mercedes and they allowed her such transparency to build this relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery, and their team talked with her team, this could very well result in Warner Brothers Discovery upping the ante for AEW and potentially giving them a major raise on their television rights. In addition, the fact that Andrew Zarian said that they're set to become a TV streaming hybrid, this could very well take AEW to the next level financially and help them in the long term. And that's a great thing. That is a great thing. And I'm very, very happy for that fact. And I'm very, very happy that Mercedes is in AEW. Is she lighting the world on fire? No, because she's only been there for 2 weeks. You need to give it some time. And we'll talk about the Mercedes Mone promo on Dynamite. It was very, very tame, very, very cookie cutter. But then again, you need to take multiple factors into consideration. And I will be discussing that when we get to the Dynamite portion of the show. But as far as the news, rumors, and reports go, that's all I got for you as far as the news, rumors, and reports go. We're about to get into the weekly show reviews. Again, no SmackDown review. I will be catching up on SmackDown and sharing my thoughts on SmackDown later on after I work out, take my shower, all that other good shit. But I would like to thank each and every single one of you for taking the time out of your days to sit here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already done so, please go and hit that super chat. Hit the super chats. Be sure to send the super thanks and the super stickers. Make sure that you show me as much support as you possibly can because we got ourselves a lot. And I mean a lot more to go over. We hit 1,000 subscribers on Hardcore Sports. And we're headed towards 2,400 over on the DJ Storms channel. Because guess what? When it comes down to it, I am the absolute best at everything that I do. Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was not all that exciting. Monday Night Raw was not all that exciting, and it seems as though the WWE continues to just coast through WrestleMania season. They coast through WrestleMania season, and they're treating it just like every other week in the history of their company. And it sucks. It really does suck. It really does suck, and it kind of depresses me a little bit. It kind of depresses me a little bit considering that I have always been a very energetic guy when it comes to WrestleMania season, and I have always been an individual that enjoys the feeling of WrestleMania. I enjoy getting hyped up. I enjoy the pageantry and all that. I enjoy because it really should be the biggest wrestling weekend of the year. And it seems as though everything else around WrestleMania has felt more important outside of WrestleMania itself because all WWE does is give you the bare minimum, especially this year. And I started to think about why. I really started to think about why. And then I was looking up and down X. I was looking up and down X, and I was browsing through the IWC like I normally do. I like to make myself aware of what is going on. And I've been seeing a lot of people say this, including JD from New York, and I have to shout him out. I got to give him the credit here. It would be wrong of me not to. And I'm starting to believe it, and I can just sense it. The common denominator that is making this year's WrestleMania season worse than last year is Dwayne Johnson. It's The Rock. And I would not put it past The Rock himself to have deliberately gone out of his way to sabotage this year's WrestleMania season. It would not shock me in the slightest. Why? Because The Rock has an ego the size of the fucking Milky Way. The Rock and his ego clearly was bruised. And it was a very, very hefty bruise. The Rock foolishly thought that he could get away with doing Roman and himself in the main event of WrestleMania, even after Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble. Even after Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble, he had the opportunity to choose whoever he wanted, the chance to fight whoever he fucking wanted. And what happens? He declines Roman initially, brings out The Rock. Rock and Roman have the stare down. For the next week, the IWC completely revolts. And by the way, it was the vast majority, not the vocal minority, Roman Reigns, you fucking retard. I get that he's trying to play a heel character, but I mean, oh my God, at least show some fucking intelligence. Roman Reigns sounds like a fucking moron out there on the Pat McAfee show. Vast majority of people revolted. Cody Rhodes ends up choosing Roman Reigns, which should have been the initial plan, until The Rock inserted himself into the picture. And it's because of that fan backlash, the change needed to be made, and The Rock clearly was not sitting pretty. So Dwayne Johnson, like the fucking egomaniac piece of shit that he is, he goes, you know what? We're going to give you Cody and Roman. We'll give it to you. But guess what? I'm going to be the center of attention all WrestleMania season. And that's exactly what's happened. The entire WrestleMania season, the center of attention, the main star of WrestleMania season is a guy that shouldn't even have been there to begin with. The main star of WrestleMania season is a 50-year-old Dwayne Johnson coming out in a sparkly fucking vest and sunglasses, acting like Hollywood Rock, a guy that shouldn't have even have been there to begin with. And yet, I'm supposed to sit here and praise what they are giving us. It's almost like The Rock is giving us two big old birdies right in our faces. Everything, literally, everything not named Dwayne Johnson has felt unimportant. Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, barely any build. Io Sky and Bayley, barely any build. Roman Reigns and Cody, they're the main event of WrestleMania night number 2. Barely any build. Sami Zayn and Gunther, legitimately put together 2 weeks ago. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. I don't want to say that those two have not had any build whatsoever. I don't want to say that those two have had no build at all, but you listen to the promos that they've been cutting these last few weeks, and they're pretty much rehashing the same shit that they said leading up to their first 2 title matches a couple months back, but with different verbiage. Leading up to their match at Crown Jewel, they pretty much said the same shit. Leading up to their match at Day 1, they pretty much said the same shit. They said the same exact shit that they said during those builds as they're saying right now. They've pretty much said everything there is to say. It's just repetition at this rate. They're not saying anything new. They're not saying anything that we don't already know. It's lazy. It's just lazy creative writing. They're not giving us anything of substance. They're not giving us anything to sink our teeth into. Look at the tag team title picture. Tag team title picture is being pieced together in a six-way ladder match. A six-way ladder match that, again, similar to Sammy and Gunther, came about 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, you had multiple stories in the tag team division with DIY, the New Catch Republic, hell, the Awesome Truth, and they fucking suck. They absolutely suck. But it was a storyline. They had something going on. But no, let's just give everyone an opportunity in a six-way ladder match that really doesn't have anything to do with what the Judgment Day are doing right now. Nothing on WrestleMania season's card, nothing has been built up properly. Nothing. WWE pretty much booked the matches for the show. I want you guys to think about this. Here's something that I realized. Before the Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania had 2 matches booked for the show before the Chamber. The Chamber was on February 24th, and there was 2 matches. By the way, 6 weeks to go until WrestleMania, and there was all but 2 matches confirmed at the Chamber. And then after the Chamber, they didn't even have 5 matches confirmed. After the Chamber, there was 4 matches confirmed. 4 matches for WrestleMania across a 2-night event. An event that is supposed to have 7 matches across each night. And yet, only 4 out of 14 matches were confirmed. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely inexcusable. WWE should have had half the fucking card confirmed by the 2nd week of February. WWE should have had half the fucking card confirmed for WrestleMania on the 2nd week of February. Absolutely zero fucking excuses. And the fact that they haven't goes to show you that they are giving us the bare minimum. They're lazy. Matter of fact, I was blaming Triple H before. I don't even know if I can place full blame on Triple H at this rate. At this point, I'm blaming The Rock. The Rock has sabotaged this year's WrestleMania season. And now you know why I shit on him. No one gives a fuck about The Rock. At least I don't. The real wrestling fans don't. The WWE fans, let me tell you something. The WWE fans are the most retarded fans in the entire world. Out of all the fan bases within the world, the WWE fan base is the dumbest fucking fan base on the fucking planet. They unzip their pants and they start pleasuring themselves immediately to whatever WWE throws at them. These fucking little kids and these fucking attitude era marks going out there and just sucking The Rock's dick figuratively. Sucking The Rock's dick, acting like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Meanwhile, they're too fucking stupid to realize how detrimental this has been to the company. And this is another byproduct of the WWE putting all of their effort into one guy, or 2 guys, or 3 guys, or 4 guys, not even 5 guys. And everyone else, 98% of the roster, is disregarded as if they're trash. Do you want to know why the WWE crowds are half dead? 15,000 people, half fucking dead. 15,000 people, half dead for most of the show. Barely any noise outside of a Cody Rhodes, a Seth Rollins, a Drew McIntyre, a Becky, and a Rhea, and a Roman. 6 people. 6 people get pops. Everyone else, lukewarm reactions. Do you want to know why the WWE crowds are dead half the time, and then AEW crowds that don't even sell out half of the fucking arena? Do you want to know why an AEW crowd of 3,000 people is more lively and more energetic than a WWE crowd of 14,000 people? It's because AEW gives everyone opportunities. Now, some get more opportunities and some get a little more time than others, but that is normal. That goes to show you who is a little bit bigger of a star than other people. But for the most part, from MJF, Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, all the way down to the fucking Dark Order, all the way down to the Dark Order, they give everyone opportunities. They give them the time and the opportunity to go out there and do what they do best, and that is wrestle. You watch AEW TV. You watch AEW TV, and the crowd is appreciative of women like a Sky Blue and a Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander and Julia Hart. They're appreciative of an Eddie Kingston. They're appreciative of a Darby Allin. They're appreciative of Bullet Club Gold. They're appreciative of Top Flight. They're appreciative of a Konosuke Takeshita, of a Katsuyori Shibata. All individuals that are in the mid-card level. All individuals that are not in the main event scene, and they are very appreciative of them. Pac as well. They're appreciative of Pac. Appreciative of Kyle Fletcher. You think that Kyle Fletcher would have gotten the same reaction that he would have gotten on WWE TV if they allowed Kyle Fletcher to do what he did against Will Ospreay a couple weeks ago? Of course not. The detriment towards building these quote-unquote larger-than-life stars, as WWE likes to call them, the detriment is the fact that you put so much effort into a handful of individuals that everyone else is going to look like bums compared to them. The entire WWE roster looks like bums compared to a Drew McIntyre or a Roman Reigns or a Rock or Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes. Or Rhea Ripley. They all look like bums. Johnny Gargano wasn't a fucking bum. Johnny Gargano's a main event level pro wrestler. Johnny Gargano's a WrestleMania fucking main eventer. What about Cedric Alexander, huh? What about Cedric Alexander? What about Santos Escobar? What about Santos Escobar? What about guys like that? What about a Finn Balor? What about guys like the Creed brothers? Minus this past Monday. What about all those individuals like that? What about Candice LeRae? What about Candice LeRae? Why isn't Candice LeRae positioned higher up on the card? Candice LeRae and Michin and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Naomi. Why aren't these individuals positioned higher up on the card? Why aren't these individuals as respected by the audience as the other people that I just named? Why is Kyle Fletcher getting better reactions during his matches than a Johnny Gargano? Why? It's because AEW gives more opportunities. They are doing their best to give you an entire roster full of credible talent. You can't compare an individual like a Cody Rhodes to an individual like a Cedric Alexander. Meanwhile, Cedric Alexander, he is a better wrestler than Cody Rhodes. Cedric's a better wrestler than Cody Rhodes, but it would be foolish to compare them because Cedric Alexander has not been given the opportunities that Cody Rhodes has been given. Meanwhile, Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay, you put them in the ring for 25 fucking minutes, and they both come out looking like stars, no matter who wins or loses. The differences between WWE creative and AEW creative. Now, I'm not saying that AEW creative is perfect, but if you're going to try and tell me that AEW does not have a creative edge over WWE, you should not be talking about pro wrestling. You should not be talking about pro wrestling. You should not be uttering anything in regards to the term professional wrestling. You need to find yourself a new hobby because your stupidity is plaguing my fucking community. You are ruining my community. You are ruining my show. You're ruining my pro wrestling industry. because it's mine. Just letting you all know that. You're ruining my fucking IWC. You're ruining my fucking industry. This is my fucking world. My fucking world, and I own all of you. You're all just living in it. Very, 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 very hard to watch WWE TV, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to be happy when I watch WWE TV. Did we get some good things on the show? Sure. Sure, we got some good things on the show. But at the end of the day, was the overall show must-see? No. And it all revolves around The Rock. It all revolves around Dwayne Johnson and his ego. Dwayne Johnson had a bruised ego following the revolt from the fans, stating that they wanted Cody versus Roman over Rock versus Roman. And it's because of that The Rock seemingly took over the creative boardroom and made himself the star of the show, to a point where everything else on the show feels completely irrelevant. Becky and Rhea, irrelevant. Io and Bayley, irrelevant. Roman and Cody, irrelevant. Sami and Gunther was put together in 2 weeks. LA Knight and AJ Styles, that is a SmackDown match at best. Last year's WrestleMania season was infinitely better than this year's WrestleMania season. And the one common denominator is Dwayne Johnson. Put your fucking nostalgia to the side and acknowledge the fact that Dwayne Johnson has sabotaged WrestleMania season and nothing has felt important. Jey Uso. Jey Uso kicked off Monday Night Raw. He wanted to talk to his brother. He wanted to talk to his brother, Jimmy. Jimmy and Solo came through the crowd. Jey said, "This feels a little different, and I miss you. I don't ride with you, and I don't see you. Just come back. I want you to come back," said Jey. Jimmy says, "I never left you. It was your idea to leave the bloodline." And what happens? Little bro goes off and becomes the top merch seller. He even becomes tag team champions without me, and he thanks Cody Rhodes for that? Everything you did is because of me, and your biggest moment in your career will be because of me. And Jey said, "No, my biggest moment of my career will be my dream match, me versus you, when I knock the yeet out your ass." So we get a little brawl, and Cody Rhodes ends up coming out to make the save, and we get ourselves the first official face-to-face with Jimmy and Jey going into their match at WrestleMania. I'm going to throw this out there for you. And I don't give a shit how many people get pissed off at this. This one promo with Jimmy and Jey was better than all of the promos with Becky and Rhea combined. All of them. Every single one of them. Whether you want to admit it or not, that is a fact. I swear to God, with how many times we've seen Nia Jax and Becky Lynch this year, you would think that Becky Lynch is feuding with Nia Jax going into WrestleMania. Never mind Rhea. But this promo easily was better than all of Becky and Rhea's promos combined. Easily. DIY. They took on the Creed brothers. This was easily the best match on the show. Absolutely fucking excellent. And I'm very, very happy that they gave them the opportunity to go out there and show everyone why tag team wrestling is the absolute best. By the way, Princess Skywalker Lowdown, I will be coming on her show on April 16th, the Skywalker Lowdown. I'm inspiring people left and right to start their own YouTube channels. Isn't it great? I'm a fucking trailblazer, people. I'm a trendsetter. But we got ourselves a WrestleMania qualifying match. And we got ourselves a damn good performance here by both the Creeds and DIY. We had a nice double suplex by Brutus and Julius. We had double planches by DIY. We had double moonsaults by the Creeds, double standing moonsaults. Brutus then pounced Ciampa over the announce table. Coming back from commercial, we had a super kick on Brutus. Nice bulldog clothesline combo. We had a slingshot spear on Julius for a 2. Tope Suicida on Brutus. Tag to Ciampa. Avalanche air raid crash from the middle rope. And Ciampa got a 2 count. We had an ankle lock by Julius on Ciampa. Julius then powerbombed Gargano. Double ankle locks on DIY. Ciampa and Gargano then reversed it into double cross faces. We had the Creeds powering out of the submission holds, and they threw both men through the air into each other, which looked phenomenal. Ciampa was able to kick out by a moonsault combination by the Creeds. Gargano then with a super kick. We had Ciampa rolling up Julius, and Ciampa gets the win. DIY are going to WrestleMania. I expect nothing less than DIY getting the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Hands down. DIY get the tag team titles. I expect nothing less. If they don't, we're going to have a problem. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, they took on Katana Chance and Caden Carter. Caden and Katana, they were beaten within 70 seconds. This is really going to get the rest of the division over, huh? This is really going to get the rest of the division over, huh? 70 seconds. 70 seconds. Katana looked like she injured her knee. Candice made the tag, took out Caden, and then wrapped Katana Chance in a single leg crab, stretched her out, and Katana Chance tapped out immediately. And yet they wonder why no one gives a shit about women's wrestling in WWE outside of Rhea, Becky, Io, Bayley, Charlotte, and Bianca. Yet they wonder. Maybe if you'd actually give the women opportunities and abolish this shitty tag team title division, maybe the women's division would be in a much better place. But of course, what the fuck do I know? I'm just a mark. Let me tell you something. This fucking mark could run a company better than anyone in WWE could. And the only reason why I'm not is because I'm not a multimillionaire. I'm a normal middle-class dude from the fucking suburbs of New Jersey. WWE ain't fucking smart enough to hire me. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came out to address the crowd, doing his normal shtick. Adrenaline in my soul. I got cucked out by Dwayne Johnson. Oh! Cody Rhodes came out and he talked about The Rock being a heel. Bobby Heenan was a heel. Ric Flair was a heel. Superstar Billy Graham was the heel. Rock, I don't think you're a heel. I think you're an asshole. Not censored, by the way. He goes, I know how you feel about emotions, but haven't you been crying behind the scenes this whole time because you didn't get your WrestleMania match? You cried to TKO saying that you needed to save WWE. Yeah, we sure needed saving, right? Look at these people. The people back there, according to Cody, the people back there yesed you to death, Dwayne. You are a lot of wonderful things, but you are a terrible salesman and you are a whiny bitch. Don't you dare think that this locker room needs you, because we don't. You talked about my mom, said Cody. Well, I know your mom. She's a wonderful woman, but you're talking about whipping me and giving the belt to my mom. Rock, she beat up an undercover cop. She ain't afraid of you. Rollins has been carrying your company for a while now, and I can tell you honestly, I don't know if it will be a fair fight, said Cody. I don't know if I'm going to finish the story, but Rock, how can you be sure? Because when that bell rings, are you going to be the great one? Or are you going to have that big Dwayne energy? Or is it just going to be LSD, little dick syndrome? I know a couple of people that know a thing or two about little dick syndrome. Eric Bischoff, he's got some little dick syndrome. Bully Ray, he's got some little dick syndrome. Sean Ross Sapp, oh, he's mega little dick syndrome. I definitely know that Jim Cornette has some little dick syndrome. I definitely know that Disco Inferno has some little dick syndrome. I also know that there's a lot of people that don't like me, the people that don't like DJ Storms. Oh my God, a lot of little dick syndrome over there. A lot of little dick syndrome. And they got six-pack abs and they can't even see their dick. That's how tiny it is. So, afterwards, Paul Heyman came out doing his usual shtick. And he apologized to Cody. Cody said that he didn't ask for an apology. Heyman promised that Roman will be on SmackDown alone as long as you come to SmackDown alone. Cody said deal, and that was that. Now, before Paul Heyman came out, Cody Rhodes was really laying it in to Dwayne Johnson right there. Cody Rhodes, not only did he cut his best promo throughout all of WrestleMania 40 season, but this was easily the best promo that Cody Rhodes has cut in the last 365 days. Where the fuck was this Cody Rhodes? Where the fuck was this Cody Rhodes in the last year? Why have we not gotten this raw, gritty, emotional, and intense and passionate Cody Rhodes? Why is it that we have not gotten this Cody Rhodes in the last 365 days? That is a fucking problem. That is a major fucking problem. We need this Cody Rhodes year-round. I expect nothing less. If we do not get this Cody Rhodes more often, we're going to have a fucking problem, because I cannot stand the fucking cookie cutter Cody Rhodes coming out here trying to act respectful, trying to act like he's a fucking grade A politician. I don't want to hear this lame ass Ron DeSantis Cody Rhodes. I don't want Ron DeSantis Cody Rhodes. I want Donald Trump Cody Rhodes. That's what we need. We need visceral. We need charismatic. We need intense and real and raw and gritty. We need Donald fucking Trump Cody Rhodes, because Trump's the fucking GOAT. Trump's the GOAT. 365 days. Trump is an absolute beast at what he does. He drops the facts on everyone. He is not well liked because people are pussies and can't handle the truth. We need that type of Cody. We need the visceral Cody Rhodes. I'm sick and tired of this politician Cody Rhodes. I'm sick and tired of the 40-year U.S. government politician Cody Rhodes that's being professional. Fuck professionalism. I can't even fucking speak. Fuck professionalism. We need realism. Let's get more of this Cody Rhodes. But based on what happened on SmackDown, I'm not sure if we're going to get that version of Cody Rhodes anymore. And that fucking sucks. Matter of fact, I'm wishing that Cody never left AEW at this point. I wasn't mad when Cody left AEW. I was kind of happy. I was kind of happy when Cody Rhodes left AEW, because this was going to make the WWE product better. It was going to make the WWE product better. It was going to make the WWE product a little bit more must-see. And even Cody Rhodes himself, even Cody, could not overcome WWE shit creative. That's fucking sad. Nowadays, I kind of wish Cody Rhodes turned heel. I wish he turned heel. Ricochet, he took on Dominic Mysterio. Not a bad match, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you got to go out and rewatch it. Not a bad match. Ricochet gets the win with the recoil, and that was pretty much that. I don't know where Ricochet is going to go. I don't know where Ricochet is going. I'm not sure what they have planned for him, but man, it really is depressing. It really is depressing to see Ricochet in this kind of scenario. Well, you know what we need? We need Ricochet to mix it up in the Intercontinental title picture again. That's what we need. I don't care whoever takes the title off of Gunther. We need that individual and Ricochet to have a program. Adam Pearce, he moderated the IC title contract signing with Gunther and Sami Zayn. Gunther came out smiling. He called out Sami Zayn for dressing like a bum. Zayn said that Gunther's smile is starting to piss him off. Zayn talked about how many people doubted him, and he proved them all wrong. And he plans on making history this year, just like he made history last year. Gunther said to listen to his new buddy Chad Gable. These people don't believe you. They do not believe that you can beat me. You don't believe that you can beat me. You are begging me to give you the beating of a lifetime, and at WrestleMania, your dreams will meet reality. So Gunther begins to walk away. Sami says, wait, you don't think I believe that I can beat you? Sami Zayn then looked dead into Gunther's eyes and goes, look again. You are looking into the eyes of the man that is going to take you down at WrestleMania. Pretty simple, straightforward, to the point. I still think Chad Gable should have been the guy. But I'm going to enjoy Sami and Gunther. I'm not going to sit here and complain because Gunther is fucking unbelievable, and Gunther has made the Intercontinental title feel like a world title. So I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of that match. It's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be match of the year. We'll see what happens. Awesome Truth, Indus Sher. This was fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. Comedy act right down to the very last letter. And yet there are some people that are wondering why I shit on the Awesome Truth. This was absolutely fucking awful. Awful. Between that, the finish, and the botched double team by The Miz and Truth, I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching anymore. I really don't even know what the fuck I'm watching anymore. This shit should not result in Awesome Truth winning the tag team titles. I swear to Christ, if R-Truth and The Miz walk out of WrestleMania with the tag team titles, I am legit going to lose my shit. CM Punk, he's returning to Raw next week. We're going to see what CM Punk has to say. Not really sure what is going to happen there. I'm not sure if we're going to get CM Punk and Drew McIntyre picking up where they left off. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, DM Hunk, Big D McIntyre, he came out to address the crowd. He was interrupted by Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre tried to keep his cool, but the crowd was singing Seth Rollins' theme song. Oh, 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 oh. You get the point. So, Seth Rollins, he is doing his normal shit. I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. And he said that he wanted to admit that Drew McIntyre was right about one thing. He says, my name is Seth Rollins and I am a spotlight junkie. The crowd was chanting spotlight junkie. Drew accused Rollins of treating everything like a joke, but he doesn't care anymore because at WrestleMania, he has a joke for him, and the punchline is when I beat you and become the new world champion. Crowd started chanting CM Punk. Rollins then said, being a spotlight junkie isn't a joke. This is his fix, and it gets better every single time. It seems as though you haven't been listening. I said I was going to take the biggest star in Hollywood and his side chick and make them my bitches. And then the biggest spotlight will be on you and me. Drew then praised Rollins for building up the world title, but he criticized Rollins for going after The Rock. He says he doesn't care, and he's not going to get the moment that he deserves. No, he's going to get the moment that he's earned, because he's earned himself a moment. Rollins then said Drew McIntyre wants the spotlight just as bad as he does, but he's been whining that he deserves better. But when the lights shine bright, you always fumble the ball, said Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins accusing Drew of fumbling the ball. He said that the lights will be as bright as ever, and you'll find out that you're just not as good as you think you are. Good promo. It's a good promo, but how many times have we heard the same fucking promo over and over and over again? New Day. New Day and Alpha Academy. This was actually a good tag team match. The problem, though, is that the whole tag team title scenario does not make any sense. The whole tag team title scenario is rather frustrating because why are the New Day and the Alpha Academy competing for a shot at the tag team titles at WrestleMania when the Alpha Academy have been a bunch of fucking losers and the New Day recently lost a street fight to Imperium several weeks ago? Makes no sense. Now, I will say that the match was actually very good. The Alpha Academy, they got a decent amount of time to get their shit in. New Day's always great when they get serious. Didn't have an issue with the match itself, but in the end, these two teams getting a tag team title opportunity is absolutely ridiculous. Seems like they're just giving out title opportunities out of fucking pity. The Rock is advertised for the April 1st edition of Monday Night Raw. You want to talk about April Fools? The Rock is the biggest April Fool of them all because he's a complete fucking fool for making the show all about himself. Main event of the show, and then we'll get into AEW. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. Last woman standing. This was actually a very good match for what it was. It started out a little slow, but it did get better towards the end. So, Nia Jax delivered a Samoan drop into the barricade to Becky Lynch. Coming back from commercial, Becky brought out a table. Nia brought out some chairs. Becky used a chair against Nia. Nia with a Samoan drop onto the chairs. Becky got back up. We had a bulldog onto the chairs by Becky. Nia then brought out some kendo sticks and whacked Becky Lynch with them. Nia then body slammed Becky onto the chairs. Becky then got up again. Becky hit Nia with the kendo sticks. Nia Jax bashed Becky with the steel steps. DDT by Becky to Nia on the steps. Becky then brought out another table. Coming back from commercial, Nia climbed up the ladder. Becky cut her off. She sprayed a fire extinguisher into the face of Nia. Nia retaliated with the Annihilator, but Becky got up again. Becky and Nia were both on the apron, and Becky Lynch delivered a manhandle slam to Nia Jax off of the apron through two tables. Both women got up. Nia Jax didn't know where she was. She was staggering, and she was scattered over the announce table. Becky Lynch with a diving leg drop to the back of Nia Jax's head through the announce table. Becky wins the last woman standing match. Rhea Ripley then came out and stood face to face with Becky Lynch, and that was how the show went off of the air. Very good match. Very good match. I will say that. But again, I asked the question, who is Becky Lynch feuding with? Is she feuding with Nia or is she feuding with Rhea? Because we've seen her and Nia in the ring. We've seen her and Nia going at each other more so this year than Becky and Rhea have been going at each other. The promos have been very dry, very bland, no heat to them, very, 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 very tame. And I don't know why. I really don't know why we're not getting that classic cutthroat Becky and we're not letting Rhea go out there and do what she does. I don't understand why we're getting such a lackluster build between these two. These two, realistically, if you want to look at it, realistically, these two should be the best thing on the show right now. Why are they not? Minimal effort. Minimal effort. Becky Lynch has spent more time fighting Nia Jax than she has building up her match with Rhea, and that is not right. I really don't know what they're going to do, but after WrestleMania is over, WWE needs to step it up. WWE really needs to step it up. Really. I am not even bullshitting you. Alien said what? The match was set up before Rumble even happened. That may be true, but the promos are still weak. I don't give a fuck whether or not the match was set up before it even happened. I give a shit about effort. And they have not been putting effort into Becky and Rhea. That is a fact. Okay? Don't fucking argue me. Dynamite. Dynamite, on the other hand. I swear, it's like night and day. AEW TV, WWE TV, it's like night and day. Tony Khan, not saying he's perfect, but at least Tony Khan is putting effort into what he's doing. At least Tony Khan is giving us some substance for our wrestling weekly schedule. You put effort into something that is already planned because effort makes more people care. When you put effort into something, it makes the final product better. It's going to make the match between Becky and Rhea better if they had more effort going into it. What do you want to do? Coast into it? I know that they don't care. I know that they don't fucking care. I'm saying they should care. And if you're telling me that they shouldn't care, then get the fuck out. I got no time for your fucking retardation, all right? Dynamite. Let's talk about a good wrestling show, actually. Let's talk about an objectively good wrestling show. Dynamite took place from the Coca-Cola Coliseum in Toronto, and they sold a hefty amount of tickets, almost 7,000 tickets, and they did a good job. They did a good job. They did what they needed to do, and we got ourselves a damn good 1-2 punch on Wednesday. It was a damn good 1-2 punch with Dynamite for 2 hours, and then we got a live Rampage right afterwards. Nice 1-2 punch from AEW side of the fence. We got ourselves some damn good wrestling. We got ourselves some more matches being set up for Dynasty, and we got ourselves a nice show set up for next week, too. We got a nice show set up for next week. So Tony Schiavone interviewed Mercedes Mone. Mercedes Mone, she was hyped. Crowd was chanting CEO. She discussed her ankle injury and how it nearly cost her her career. She said that she asked the people in the truck to play a video package. So they played some highlights from her in Hollywood. They played some highlights from her in Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. Very nicely put together package. She said that minor setbacks make for major comebacks. I actually like that line. That was a nice little line right there. She said that she is here to lead a global revolution. She said that there is a price to pay when you mess with Mercedes Mone. So the lights then went out. Lights went out, and we had Julia Hart and Sky Blue coming out to ambush Mercedes Mone. It didn't work out too well, so they brought out some chairs. Out came Willow and Statlander, and Willow actually teased hitting Mercedes Mone with the chair. Now, I thought that was going to play into something that would have happened on Rampage, but it didn't. I'm actually kind of happy that it didn't. We'll see what happens going forward. But Willow, she teased the heel turn. I actually like the fact that you can't really tell who's going to turn heel. You can't tell whether it's going to be Willow or whether it's going to be Statlander. So I will give them a little credit. They're keeping it unpredictable. They're keeping us guessing. Now, Mercedes, a lot of people have been criticizing Mercedes promo, saying it was very tame, it was very bland. You are correct. It was rather bland for a Mercedes Mone promo, but here's what I want you guys to think about. I'm not going to say it was a promo that I'm going to go back and rewatch. This was completely forgettable. The promo was forgettable. However, there are two specific reasons as to why this came off as lackluster as it did. Number one, they're not going to give away everything that Mercedes Mone is going to do right out of the gate. She's been there for 2 weeks. You need to give her some time to develop a plan and establish herself. And once that is in motion, then we'll have a more clear-cut vision about what she is going to do going forward. And then the second thing, and this is the biggest thing that a lot of people need to remember, Mercedes Mone, for how many years? 7 years? 7 years, 8 years. Mercedes Mone was poisoned and plagued, and she was taught the WWE way. Mercedes Mone still has a lot of WWE stink on her. She still has a lot of WWE vibes to her. And what I mean by that is the way that she talks, the way that she comes off, the way that she words her promos. It's a very, 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 and I mean a very, very, very bad habit that WWE has instilled in everyone. How they should talk, how they should cut a promo, how they should move, how they should walk, what tone should they speak in, all this other stuff, that they would pretty much be sounding like fucking robots. Mercedes Mone has not been given enough time to wash that WWE stink out of her. How long was she around in Japan before she got injured? 4.5 months? That's barely enough time to wash the WWE stench off of her. She needs to learn how to word her promos correctly. She needs to learn how to come off more genuine and gritty and passionate. You're not going to get a Will Ospreay style promo from Mercedes right out of the gate. You're not. There is still a lot of work to be done with Mercedes Mone's promo game because her mind has been plagued by the WWE way. Her mind has been plagued by the WWE machine, and she comes off robotic. Now, is she a better heel than a babyface? Yes, she is. She's a better heel than a babyface. But she can cut better promos as a babyface than she did on Wednesday. The reason why she has not come off as good as she wanted to, or as good as we want her to, is because she needs to spend time getting rid of that WWE robotic promo mentality. And it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take more than just 2 weeks. Let's wait until Wembley is over, and then we can make a judgment. Give her at least 5 to 6 months. Patience is a virtue. Kazuchika Okada and Eddie Kingston, they had a match, and it was for the AEW Continental Crown Championship. This was the Continental Crown only. This was a very old school style match. Very old school style match. I actually was not expecting it to be as, I don't want to say tame, but this wasn't as high octane and intense as I would have expected it to be. Not to say it was a bad match. It was just a match that was a change of pace from what we usually see. In AEW, the matches are much more faster and they're much more intense. This one felt like a little bit of a 90s style match. It was a little bit more toned down, a little bit more old school. It was a little bit more basic of a match than what we usually see from AEW. And I'm not saying that is bad. I'm not saying that's bad. I appreciate a nice change of pace. I do appreciate a nice change of pace. it was just not up to what we know Okada and Kingston can do. But it was a very well-paced match. It was old school, and it had the right outcome. I can't really shit on that. Eddie Kingston, he was a fighting champion, and Okada won like he needed to win. Okada needed to win this. So, very evenly matched early on. Okada with a DDT on the floor. Coming back from commercial, the crowd was very, very split. They were chanting, "Let's go, Eddie, Okada." Okada with a drop kick. Beautiful fucking drop kick. Love Okada's drop kick. Kingston with the chops. We had a nice double arm lock suplex and a heel trip. Crowd was chanting, "Fuck him up, Eddie. Fuck him up." We had a sliding elbow by Eddie. That got a 2 count. Drop kick again by Okada. And an air raid crash neck breaker for a 2 count. We had a dive by Okada, but Kingston moved. We had a spinning back fist by Kingston. That got a 2 count. Crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Both men tried to trade forearms. Okada with a discus lariat. Eddie with a clothesline right back. Okada gouged the eyes of Eddie Kingston. Kingston came back with an enziguri. Okada with a very nice spinning power slam. And then the Rainmaker. After the Rainmaker, Okada covers 1, 2, 3. And Okada is the new Continental Crown Champion. And that was that. Now, a lot of people were asking, well, why did they do this match now? Why did they do this match now? And we pretty much got our answer almost immediately after the match. Afterwards, Pac came out, and he stood face-to-face with Okada. He was on the entrance ramp. Okada was in the ring, and he was staring down Okada, and pretty much all but confirmed the match that we are getting at AEW Dynasty. Why was this match booked for the show on Dynamite? It's quite simple. They booked this match for Dynamite because Pac versus Okada is the better match for Dynasty. That's why they booked it. Kingston is great, but when you look at Kingston and you look at Pac, as great of a wrestler as Eddie Kingston is, Pac is just better. Again, not trying to be tribalistic, not trying to discredit Eddie Kingston. It's just a fact. Pac is a better wrestler. There are some people who are just better than others. And Pac is an objectively better wrestler than Eddie Kingston. That's why it was booked. This match was booked so Okada could win the title, and then we're going to get Okada and Pac on a pay-per-view. Because it's their debut, their pay-per-view debut in St. Louis. First ever pay-per-view in St. Louis for AEW. You want to put your best foot forward. And as good as Eddie Kingston is, Pac and Okada is just the better match. That's why they did it. Tony Khan booked this match because Okada versus Pac is a better pay-per-view match than Okada and Kingston. I feel as though it's a bit disrespectful to Kingston on AEW's part, but what are you going to do? Pac is better. It's a fact. Kingston, he's got his own match to worry about with Mark Briscoe. And then he's got the New Japan Strong Openweight title to worry about. Seems as though Kingston, as we speak, is losing his championships, and I do believe that if we're going to have Kingston lose his titles, he could be moving up. Maybe we see Eddie Kingston potentially go after the TNT title. I would love to see Eddie Kingston versus Adam Copeland. That sounds like a fantastic match. Okada's the new Continental Crown Champion, as expected. Swerve Strickland, he was interviewed by Renee, and he said that Joe tried to embarrass him and choke him out. He then showed a chain, and he said, I got a history of choking people out too. He is ducking me, and he is afraid of what I would do to him. So here's what I'm doing. I am offering an open challenge tonight. Tonight, we are in Toronto, but Toronto is going to be whose house? And then the crowd in the back, you can hear them chanting Swerve's house. Next week, Young Bucks and Private Party in the tag team title tournament is confirmed. Can't wait to see that. Hook Hook took on Chris Jericho. Lionheart, Chris Jericho. Now, I know a lot of people may be sick of Chris Jericho. I'm not necessarily sick of him, but he doesn't come off the same as he once did, and that's not anyone's fault other than the fact that it just feels like he's done everything. Not to say that he is hogging up the spotlight. Jericho has not been a spotlight hog at all. Jericho has actually been the opposite of a spotlight hog. Jericho has been doing everything in his power to try and put the spotlight on others. However, he's kind of just there. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Jericho, as good as he is, he's just there. Now, I'm going to give him his props here because what Jericho did was go in there and he made Hook look like a fucking badass. Jericho went in there, and I'm not sure if he talked to Hook about this before the show. I mean, I would like to think that he did. I would like to think that he did because Jericho always wants to get over the new talent, and Jericho is not afraid to go in there and take a loss. Hook suplexed Jericho on the back of his neck about 8 different times in this match. Now, the first 2 times, I was a little apprehensive, but on the third time, when Jericho deliberately rolled over his neck, I'm thinking to myself, all right, you know what? Jericho's doing this shit on purpose. He's doing this shit on purpose because he wants to make Hook look like a fucking beast. So Hook was just suplexing Jericho left and right, German suplexes, Saito suplexes, T-bone suplexes, and every single time Jericho folded in on his neck. So I'm watching this and I'm thinking, man, Jericho's got some fucking balls to go in there and take all those suplexes on his fucking head. So Jericho, and here's the thing, every time Jericho tried to mount the comeback, Hook would be there to give him another fucking suplex. Hook with the Northern Lights suplex, Jericho with a lion salt, that got a 2 count. We had Jericho throwing Hook into the buckle. Jericho went for the 10 punches up top, but Hook blocked, and he transitioned into the Red Rum. Jericho then went down. Jericho broke the Red Rum. He broke the Red Rum, and Jericho tried to go for the walls, but Hook rolled up Jericho, and Hook got the win. 1, 2, 3. His first pinfall victory in AEW, and he got it over Chris Jericho. Afterwards, Jericho showed some respect to Hook, shook his hand, and Hook continues to look great. Telling you, Hook, I feel like this is going to be a big year for him. This year and next year are going to be very big years for Hook. And I think that Hook would fit great in the international title picture. Let's get Hook in there with a Roderick Strong. And next week, Jericho said he's got a proposition for Hook. I'm actually interested to see what that is. I'm assuming it's going to be a heel turn. Because Jericho, listen, Jericho's great, but he is not that good of a babyface. Let's be honest here. Jericho, he just doesn't come off as a real babyface. Jericho is a heel through and through. So if we're going to get a heel turn, I certainly wouldn't mind that. Maybe we get an FTW-style rules match between the two. Wouldn't mind that at all. Adam Cole. And I'm very, very happy that they are making a storyline out of this. Adam Cole cut a promo, and he said that he is disappointed in Wardlow. Perfect. Exactly what they needed to do. He said Wardlow failed. Wardlow failed to bring gold to the Undisputed Kingdom. Now he has a new goal to make sure that the Undisputed Kingdom keeps the gold that we have, and then maybe we'll forgive you. Don't screw it up, said Adam Cole. It's coming. The heel turn's coming. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. Wardlow is going to get kicked out of the Undisputed Kingdom, and sooner rather than later, we will see Kyle O'Reilly in the Undisputed Kingdom. Wardlow's going to get kicked out. We will see Kyle O'Reilly in the Undisputed Kingdom, and Wardlow is now going to have to find backup of his own. And who's going to be there for Wardlow? MJF's going to be there. FTR is going to be there. Reunited Pinnacle versus the Undisputed Kingdom. So I'm very, very happy that they're not just disregarding it, and they're actually making it into a story. That's exactly what they needed to do. Will by God fucking Ospreay. Will Ospreay, he came to the ring, and Will joked about being a dick last time he was in Canada. For those of you that do not know, he wiped his ass with the Canadian flag when he was fighting Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door. Crowd was chanting, bruv. He talked about Bryan's match with Shibata. He talked about how Bryan said that Will Ospreay couldn't walk a mile in his shoes. And this is a line that I liked right here. Will Ospreay said, yeah, he's right. I couldn't walk a mile in his shoes because his shoes were too small for me, bruv. He goes, at the end of the day, I elevated pro wrestling. I can't walk in your shoes. You want me to prove it? Shibata, and he calls out Shibata, long time no see. Next week on Dynamite, Shibata, meet me in that ring. And Bryan, watch, and I'll show you what the Billy Goat is all about. And yet some people are mad that Dave Meltzer said that Will Ospreay has more charisma than Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry, but what Meltzer said, even though he left out a very important part, Meltzer was correct. Excellent promo. Excellent promo. Exactly what needed to happen. And we got Will Ospreay and Katsuyori Shibata set for next week. And you know why it's great? It's great. It's so simple because now Bryan is calling out Will Ospreay. It's almost like a game of one-upsmanship. And when you have a game of one-upsmanship, that makes for some intriguing builds. It's a game of anything that you can do, I can do better. It's the same thing that Swerve and Hangman were doing. But now we got Ospreay and Bryan doing it. Well, Will Ospreay said, you beat Shibata, Bryan. Shibata, how about you and me? Bryan, watch the match closely and you'll see what I'm all about. And then tell me that I can't walk a mile in your shoes. This is why I say that simple storytelling is the best. Simplistic shit. Simple, straightforward shit. Shit that makes sense. Not shit like what you see on SmackDown with The Rock over-convoluting the fucking WrestleMania build. It's simple storytelling. Simple stories make for the best kinds of wrestling feuds and matches. Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. They took on Toni Storm and Mariah May. This was a fun little match. Really nothing over the top. Really nothing too crazy. This was pretty much a setup match. This was a setup match to develop some heat between not only Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm, or as what she's calling her, Antonia. Thunder Rosa and Antonia Storm. This was also meant to develop heat between Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. Because if you noticed, Deonna Purrazzo, when Thunder Rosa rolled up Toni Storm, which I didn't like, when Thunder Rosa rolled up Toni Storm, Deonna Purrazzo really wasn't that happy. And it's almost like Deonna Purrazzo, she kind of feels cheated by Thunder Rosa for doing that because Thunder Rosa, she was picked by Deonna Purrazzo to be her partner. She was picked by Deonna Purrazzo to be a partner, and yet Thunder Rosa is out here, and she's taking up a spotlight away from Deonna. And Deonna, she has a case that Toni Storm, she tapped out at Revolution, and now she's looking for a rematch. So now we got Thunder Rosa in the mix, who never lost the championship. Thunder Rosa never lost the championship. Thunder Rosa, she's got unfinished business with Toni Storm. That's probably the match at AEW Dynasty. Maybe we get a number one contenders match. It makes sense because Deonna, she was fucked over. Thunder Rosa, she's been undefeated. Make it a number one contenders match. Simple. Pretty simple. Swerve Strickland, he came out for his open challenge and he faced The Butcher. The Butcher ended up taking the win here. Swerve ended up taking the win. The Butcher ended up taking a beating. Swerve took the win. And Swerve, he then called out Samoa Joe. He said that, I thought about hanging you on this chain, but you got a big-ass neck, so I don't think it would work out too well. But I will take out every single security guard that you send my way until you give me what I want. Joe then comes out. Joe says, Swerve, the problem is that you still believe that you can box with a god. I love how Samoa Joe speaks. All of these people start believing too. And that's sweet until someone like me shows up and takes everything that you have. But I know now that it's me. It's going to be me that's going to give you exactly what you want. That is going to solve the problem. Pretty much Joe's telling him that I'm going to give you what you want, and then I'm going to take everything away from you. I'm going to give you your world title match, and then I'm going to fucking kick your ass. So all of a sudden, Don Callis comes out, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what's going on here? So he calls out Swerve Strickland for booking himself in a world title match. Like, why the fuck are you in a world title match? Because Konosuke Takeshita is undefeated outside of the Don Callis family. So as far as I'm concerned, Takeshita will show you what it's like to lose to the family, because this isn't Swerve's house. This is the Don Callis family house. And Swerve accepted. Next week is shaping up to be one hell of a show. We got Katsuyori Shibata versus Will Ospreay. We got Takeshita versus Swerve. We got the Young Bucks in Private Party. I'm not sure what else they're going to book for the show, but little more matches, a couple more segments, and we're going to have ourselves one hell of a fucking show next week. I'm looking forward to it. Main event of Dynamite. It was Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. I Quit match for the TNT Championship. The crowd was fucking awesome. The crowd was singing Metalingus. Even after the music died out. Crowd was hyped. Adam Copeland fucking loving every moment of it. Awesome shit. Awesome shit. Copeland, then with a baseball slide drop kick immediately, he went right after Christian Cage. Fight was spilling into the stands. Copeland brought out a ladder. Copeland set up the ladder in between the guardrail and the announce table and delivered an edge-o-matic. Not really sure what he's calling it, but it was an edge-o-matic, as he called it back in WWE. Edge-o-matic on the ladder bridge. Ladder bridge was then inserted into the ring. We had a gourd buster by Copeland on Christian Cage with the ladder open, turned upside down. And Christian Cage, I'm not sure what happened, but those little clips that held the ladder together, Christian Cage got crotched on them. Crowd was chanting, "You sick fuck." Copeland then brought out a table. Crowd was chanting, TLC, TLC. Christian then dodged the spear. He went to the top, crossbody off the top, sending Copeland through a table that was propped up in the corner. Copeland then said, "Screw you," to Christian. Copeland was busted open. We had a catapult into the ladder by Cage. Frog splash missed. Crossface by Copeland. Christian raked the eyes. Double spear. Both men are down. Coming back from commercial again, Christian launched off of the stage. He would not quit. Copeland then brought out a hockey net and slammed Christian right into the hockey net. Mother Wayne, love it when they call her Mother Wayne. Mother Wayne came out and low-blowed Copeland with the hockey stick, but Copeland still wouldn't quit. Cage then broke the hockey stick off of Copeland's back. Cage then just relished in his work. He was just absorbing the heat, just walking around slowly, admiring what he's doing, because he's Christian Cage and he's a fucking prick. All of a sudden, Adam Copeland with a crossface with his drawstring. He took the drawstring out of his tights and locked in a crossface on Christian. All of a sudden, We had Nick Wayne and Killswitch coming out. Mother Wayne slapped Adam Copeland across the face. Out came Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia, and I'm very happy that they did this. I was very much hoping that Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic were going to be involved because of the simple fact that they needed some comeuppance. They needed some comeuppance after Christian and the rest of the patriarchy fucked Daniel Garcia over at Revolution. They needed some form of payback, and this was it. So Adam Copeland with the Impaler DDT, the Coplocution, on the barbed wire chair. A ladder was then set up. Christian was out of the picture. Copeland with a dive off of the ladder onto Killswitch and Wayne. Garcia then got some handcuffs. He handcuffed Luchasaurus and Christian Cage to the turnbuckle corners. Mother Wayne ran off, and Christian Cage was then surrounded. Copeland with a spear. Cage was then handcuffed. Copeland then took Spike. Christian wouldn't quit. And then all of a sudden, Copeland just kicked Christian in the balls over and over and over again. He then took Spike and he hit Christian with Spike right in the balls. I'm not sure if he actually hit him in the balls, but it looked like it from a certain angle. Hit Christian with Spike right in the fucking balls, which looked absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't know how the fuck that they got that to look as good as it did. Spike was driven into Christian's balls. Then Copeland was going to hit Christian with Spike in the head, and Christian Cage finally quit, and Adam Copeland is the TNT champion. Great match. Absolutely the right outcome. And now we are off to the races towards Adam Copeland continuing the legacy that Christian Cage developed with the TNT championship. And I think that Adam Copeland, he is really going to help aid the younger generation now. He wants to work with the younger talent. He's going to go out there and he's going to fucking work with the younger talent. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to him working with more younger talent. That's what I want to see. I want to see more young talent mix it up with Adam Copeland. That right there is going to really help the younger talent elevate themselves just by being in the ring with Adam Copeland, and Adam Copeland bringing back the open challenge for the TNT championship. And the end game here, the end game is Copeland and Takeshita. Takeshita should absolutely be the man that beats Adam Copeland for the TNT title. Excellent Dynamite. Excellent Dynamite. And the great pro wrestling, it bled into Rampage too. It bled into Rampage. This week's Rampage, it was live. It was live immediately following Dynamite. And Rampage, not only was this a great episode of Rampage, but this was probably the best episode of Rampage in the last 12 months. This was great. This was a great episode of Rampage. Two great shows back to back. And we got some excellent pro wrestling on Rampage. Not only that, but we got ourselves a promo with the Acclaimed. So Rampage started off with the Bullet Club. Bullet Club, they were cutting a promo from Florida, just relishing in the fact that they took out Daddy Ass and they wanted the Acclaim's trios titles. Jay White then mocked Darby for not being able to climb Mount Everest. And he said that the one mountain that you will never climb is Jay White. And now you can breathe with the Switchblade, said Jay White. So Bullet Club obviously just relishing in their handiwork. Renee Paquette then comes out and she interviews the Acclaimed. And the Acclaimed, they were not rapping. They were not all smiles and giggles. The Acclaimed were dead serious. Caster said that they should have known that Bullet Club was going to fuck them over. Billy was not cleared to travel. Toronto then booed Jay White. Caster then called White out for not showing up. Caster then said that Jay White is a fake tough guy who hides behind his ass boys. Caster said that White isn't very smart, and when you come back, we'll be here to ruin your life. Bowens, and I was actually more impressed with Bowens than I was with Max Caster. Bowens is actually a very good promo. Bowens, he said that the Bang Bang Gang is not elite enough. See, Bowens said that Jay White should have listened to the internet and he should have signed somewhere else. He then said, you got beat by MJF with one leg. Then you had a spot in the Continental Classic and you lost. And the only reason why you're a champion now is because the Acclaimed helped you. And I'm sitting here like, all right, Anthony Bowens showing some teeth. He said that you're a coward and I'm counting down the days until we beat your ass silly. So then Bowens goes, throw your scissors up, and then put one finger down and show the world what you think about the Bang Bang Gang. Because this is the only gang we need, because everyone loves the Acclaim. I'm going to throw this out there for you. This was probably the best promo that the Acclaimed has ever cut. I don't think I've seen a better promo from the Acclaimed than this. This was an excellent promo from both men. Bowens came off better than Max Caster did, but regardless, this is exactly what we need. This is exactly the type of intensity that we need from the Acclaimed. No more rapping, no more talking about scissoring. We need seriousness from the Acclaimed. And that's what's going to make the match with Bullet Club Gold come off better. And we're going to get a title versus title match. Simple. I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it at all. Now let's get this match booked for Supercard. Let's get this match booked as a title for title match at Supercard of Honor. For the AEW and the Ring of Honor World Trios Championships at Supercard. That's what we need. Let's get it booked, and let's get it booked immediately. Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, they took on Powerhouse Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher. This was an AEW World Tag Team Tournament wild card match. And this was a great tag team match. Tag team wrestling finally seems to be back at the forefront of AEW TV. This was a great overall match from start to finish. All four guys got their shit in. Don Callis' family looked great in defeat. And Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy, they advance as expected. So Hobbs, with a spine buster right out of the gate. Hobbs wasting no time. Hobbs looked great here. I got to say that. Hobbs looked like a beast in this match. So Trent was able to save. He was able to save the match. Hobbs then slammed Cassidy into the apron multiple times. We had a tag to Fletcher. Trent Beretta with a Meteora and a big Swanton bomb to the floor onto the Don Callis family. We had a German suplex on Fletcher. Nice double team pendulum bomb by Fletcher and Hobbs. Coming back from commercial, we had a tornado DDT by Trent and a tag to Orange Cassidy. We had a tope suicida on Hobbs. Satellite DDT on Fletcher. Hobbs saved it. Hobbs absolutely rocked Orange Cassidy and locked in a torture rack. Trent Beretta then punched Hobbs, but he didn't budge. Cassidy with the roll-up for a 2. Half and half by Fletcher on Trent. Some kicks from Cassidy and Trent. We had a Sundog Millionaire and a half and half suplex by Trent. Hobbs bulldozed through both men and sent both of them flying. Cassidy was then slammed into the LED board. Hobbs was going to go for a power bomb, but Cassidy powered Hobbs up into a modified beach break. 2 Hobbs on the floor. Back in the ring, we had a tope suicida by Fletcher on Trent. Spinning tombstone on Cassidy, but Cassidy kicked out. Fletcher was then caught with an avalanche, half and half suplex, diving DDT, orange punch, and Orange Cassidy and Trent, they advanced to the first round to fight the Undisputed Kingdom's Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. And that match makes sense too. This was great. Great shit. And I'm very, very happy that they are trying to develop this tag team tournament as a rather serious tournament. I appreciate it. Katsuyori Shibata. He took on Kevin Matthews. Shibata won fairly quickly. This was nothing more than a showcase match to get Shibata on the show before his match with Will Ospreay next week. Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero. Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero. This match went 10 minutes. And I can tell you right now that Konosuke Takeshita, at this very moment, Konosuke Takeshita is making a very strong case as to why he should be considered the wrestler of the year so far. Not even bullshitting you. Konosuke Takeshita, all he needs is 10 minutes. 10 minutes. You give him 10 minutes against whoever. Give him 10 minutes against whoever. And Konosuke Takeshita delivers a better performance than half of the fucking industry can do in 20 minutes. It is unbelievable. All this guy needs is 10 minutes, and he will legitimately try and outperform everyone on that fucking roster. This was a very good match with Rocky Romero, and my oh my, Konosuke Takeshita, the fact that he is on AEW TV weekly, the fact that he is on AEW TV consistently, it is a wonderful thing to see. Absolutely a wonderful thing to see, and I'm very, very pleased to see that Takeshita is continuing his great streak of matches this year. He already has the best match of the year with Will Ospreay. He already does. I can't even wait to see what he does in the future. He's the next TNT champion. At Wembley Stadium, him and Adam Copeland, TNT title, book it. Fucking book it. So Rocky Romero with a nice Hurricane Rana, rapid fire clotheslines. We had Takeshita coming in with the Fireman's Carry Gutbuster. Coming back from commercial, Rocky Romero with 3 tope suicidas. Takeshita caught him, and he accidentally hit the ring post with his forearm by mistake. Another tope suicida by Rocky. We had a nice standing sliced bread by Rocky, and then he locked in an arm snapper. We had a cross arm breaker by Rocky, big boot by Takeshita. Takeshita then with a cradle tombstone pile driver, and then Takeshita delivered a Blue Thunder Bomb. My God, do I love Takeshita's Blue Thunder Bomb. Blue Thunder Bomb by Takeshita, 2 count. Rocky then with a back heel kick. Takeshita came in with a lariat, discus elbow, and a spinning Falcon Arrow. And Takeshita, off the spinning Falcon Arrow, gets the victory 1, 2, 3. Konosuke Takeshita wins the match, and he is looking to continue his momentum going into the match with Swerve next week. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Takeshita, so far, Takeshita is my candidate for Wrestler of the Year. Him and Ospreay right now are the top 2. Main event of Rampage was Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Not as good as the women's street fights of the past, but it was still a very good match. They made do with it. And on top of that, Julia Hart and Sky Blue, they ended up taking the win. I was shocked by it, but I can't really say that I had a problem with it because Julia Hart and Sky Blue, they've kind of been coming up second best to Statlander and Willow in recent weeks. So I guess you needed to give them a win. So they wasted no time. Willow and Statlander whacked Julia and Sky Blue with some kendo sticks and chairs. Julia Hart was wedged in a chair, and Willow, she kicked the chair over with Julia Hart in it. Willow then got a table, and she set it up in the corner. Julia accidentally hit Sky Blue with the spike that she had. Coming back from commercial, Willow and Statlander were in control. Willow with a cannonball with the chair on Sky Blue. Crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Willow then cleared the announce table. However, Sky Blue, and this was great right here, Sky Blue delivered a code blue to Willow on the announce table, and it was as clean and as fluid as you would see her do it in the ring. I did not think that this was going to work out as clean as it did, but that code blue on the table looked great. Table didn't break. Back in the ring, Sky Blue and Statlander both got some thumbtacks. Sky Blue then powerbombed Statlander on the tacks. Statlander kicked out. She then put the tacks in Statlander's mouth. And Sky Blue super kicked Statlander with the tacks in her mouth. Afterwards, we had the crowd chanting, "You sick fuck." Willow got back up, delivered a Death Valley driver off of the apron through 2 tables onto Sky Blue. Willow and Sky Blue were effectively out of the match. Statlander, she dropped Julia Hart and she went for the 450 on the chairs, but she missed it. And then Julia locked in the Heartless, and Statlander tapped out. Kind of shocking to see Julia and Sky Blue take the win, but I'm not going to complain because you needed to give them a win. You needed to at least give them some sort of credibility. So I didn't have an issue with it, but it was not anywhere near as important and as good as the street fights that we've usually seen. However, I'm not going to complain about it because it was a very good match. We had some good spots, and the women of AEW's women's division clearly are a hell of a lot better, and they're doing a hell of a lot better than the WWE women's division, and that's a fact. Easily the best Rampage in the last year. Some people were saying that they should make Dynamite 3 hours. No. You should not be doing that. You should not be doing that whatsoever. You know what you should be doing? You should be moving Rampage from 10 p.m. to 7 p.m. Move Rampage from 10 p.m. to 7 p.m. And in addition to that, please make sure you give Rampage a bit more substance and don't overload it. That's what you need to do with Rampage. Do not get rid of it. But ladies and gents, that's all I got. That is all I got for you. That has been the Lightning Flash update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who came on in, spent your Saturday afternoons with me. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do not forget to check out all the links in the description. Please, if you can, send some super chats, send some super thanks, send in your super stickers as well. And let's get the ball rolling because now I'm monetized. I want to start making some dough from this. I can only do that with your help. Please continue to show your support. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Do not forget, we got ourselves a big week. Big week. During the first week of April, we got 5 streams on April 4th. With the rundown for Supercard of Honor and for NXT Stand and Deliver. April 5th, rundown for WrestleMania 40. April 6th, rewind for Supercard and Stand and Deliver. April 7th, rewind for Mania Night 1. April 8th, rewind for Mania Night 2. A lot of good shit going down. We're going to get ourselves a shit ton, and I mean a shit ton of material in. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash update. Before we get out of here, let me take a sip of my water. You already know the drill, people. Tell me, who runs the IWC? It's a rhetorical question. Who but DJ motherfucking Storms? And don't you ever forget it.
'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.